Okay, so we're going to move on to the next shape, which is going to be a heart shape. And the way that I like to make a heart shape to try to get kind of a perfect shape is to make a circle, and then I'll make a perfect square. I'll make that, I'll rotate that square holding down my control key so it snaps into this diamond shape. And then I will line that up perfectly in the middle of my circle. Command D on the circle and move it over here. And that's how I create a heart shape. Now I'm going to take all three of those shapes and I'm going to come up here to Path Union. And then when I press A, you can see I have one single shape. So I'm going to kind of center that there in the middle of our guides. You can see where your object center is by remember clicking on this twice so you have to rotate. Once I get that perfectly centered on my guides, I'm going to come into, I'm going to duplicate it. And the bottom path, I'm going to, I can now delete this star. I'm going to lock, and the top path, I'm going to hold down my shift key and press the green so I get the outline. And I'm going to select the X. I'm going to left mouse click on the X on the bottom left hand corner to have no fill. So we're just working with the outlines, and this is the star underneath is just kind of there for reference. So we're going to click on our outline, press A, and you're going to select those two middle nodes. We're going to break those apart. So break apart. So what we're going to do is we're going to break up this line, Control Shift K. And we're just going to work with 1/2 of the, you can delete that. So press A, and we're going to work on getting this to stitch correctly. And then we can duplicate it and mirror it. So I have found that it helps to select, double click, create another point, delete that point, and then we're going to go with our pen tool and we're going to select a line that goes right up the middle. And then we're going to use our node selection tool on this part, double click right there, and delete that first node so that we have two lines that are not really touching.
Okay, and I have found that the best way to do this is to lower this inner line quite a bit down. And that will get your lines to, your angles to stitch correctly. Make sure your lines are going the same direction, Control Shift P, and you can see that it's stitching from the top to the bottom. So just keep that in mind. You can also change your short distance stitch so that you don't have as much bunching, and apply and quit whenever you're done.
We're going to take this and we're going to, or Command D, flip, line that up to our design there. Just select this one side, Command Shift P.
So you can see that this is also stitching from the top to the bottom. And we want to change that to stitch the other way by going to reverse rails, reverse both rails. You can see now that's stitching from the bottom to the top. You want to trim after that second half stitches out. Apply and quit.
Select both of those.
Command Shift P. And now you can see it's stitching downward and then upward. No jump stitches. You can cancel that.
Select both of them. Command Shift right arrow. And there we go. We can move that over, and there is a little bit of a gap there, but if we go to and press 1, this is how big this heart is going to be at its largest. And it's going to be thread, so it's not going to be super noticeable if there's a little bit of a gap there. It's going to be pretty organic and moving, and it's not going to look like there's a huge gap there. So you can delete your preview and zoom in here. Select your lines. Hold down Shift, select both of them. Command G to group them. This is your gray background that we don't want. And we're going to go to Object Properties and we're going to name this. Set and put it in your library. And then you can delete that shape. And I like to save my basic satin shapes file because this is going to be my actual library file.